everyone, it's Bridget here from Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, wishing you a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, whatever it is you may be doing. I hope you're well and I hope that you are safe. Thank you for joining me once again in the kitchen. We have an exciting episode. Today we're going to be making the most delicious turmeric chai, also turmeric tea. It's because, all week this week here in Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, we are celebrating the wonderfully vibrant and exciting cuisine of India. So far this week, I've already shared with you guys a onion bhaji recipe. I gave you actually 2 recipes for onion bhaji. You can go back and watch the video, or you can request the PDF, which we put out, I think yesterday we did that one. So it's all there on Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. This morning, if you have been on our page, you would have seen that I shared with you one of my absolute all-time favorite curries. It was a creamy vegetable korma. If you haven't already requested that recipe, you need to get this into your life. It is so delicious. It's vegan friendly, it's gluten free, it's sugar free, it's dairy free, it's all those wonderful things. And that recipe went live this morning on Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. So lots of options there. And today I suppose we're kind of completing the meal. You've got the onion bhaji, which is kind of like a street food snack or an appetizer. We shared the vegetable korma this morning, which is obviously a lovely curry. And now I'm going to share with you guys how to make a very, very healthy and very delicious turmeric chai. So now we'll get the beverage as well. And if you were wondering whether I'm going to do an Indian sweet, you're not wrong. Keep watching the rest of the week because I'll be sharing with you a healthy Indian sweet as well. One of my favorite Indian sweets. In fact, our daughter Coco introduced me to this sweet and it literally blew my mind. So we're going to do a healthy version of that. But today it's all about turmeric. Turmeric being arguably, one of the most widely used spices when it comes to, ancient medicines. And when I talk about ancient medicines, I'm talking about Ayurveda, and Ayurveda is an Indian ancient medicine and wellness, sort of a principle of being. It's been around for literally thousands of years, and turmeric has been used, this amazing spice that is turmeric, has been used as a healing spice for thousands of years as well. And science is only now catching up to, what has been used to heal our bodies in so many ways for so many years. Science is just catching up now. In fact, in the last decade, there's been over 6,000 scientific studies done on turmeric to prove the health benefits of this amazing spice. So yes, it is a turmeric tea today. Really fabulous, easy to use. And what I wanted to give you guys was a recipe so you had an instant turmeric chai. So all you would need to do is obviously add hot water. So that's really it. So come on down to my bench. Let's get into it. It is a quick recipe. Do not blink, do not go anywhere because chances are you might miss it. But it is a wonderful recipe for all those healing properties that I'll talk you through as we're making it. So come on down to my bench. Obviously all you're going to need for this recipe is a bowl. There's nothing more than just a bowl to mix your spices into. So as I was saying, we're going to be using turmeric, of course, because it's a turmeric tea. And you're all familiar with turmeric. It's that wonderful sort of vibrant, is it yellow, is it orange? It's kind of a cross between the two. It's that vibrant color. And what makes turmeric so exceptionally good for our health is the active ingredient, which is called curcumin. So curcumin, and that's obviously turmeric is packed with this curcumin. It's that curcumin in the turmeric that makes it really, really good for us. So all these benefits that I'm going to be talking about, by the way, like I said, they're all scientifically proven that this is what turmeric does for you. So into our tea, we're going to be adding 4 tablespoons first of this wonderful turmeric. And I'm using turmeric powder here. Now the reason why I'm using turmeric powder, because you can also buy it as a whole root. The reason why I'm using the powder is, remember, we're making an instant tea. So we need it to be in powder form. It's going to be a lot easier for you to turn into your wonderful turmeric chai. So 4 tablespoons of our turmeric goes in there. And one of my favorite things about turmeric, and what really got me into it a few years ago because of my dad, is it's a wonderful anti-inflammatory. So if you think about anti-inflammatories, they do things like they help to fight disease, which is also always really, really good. But for my dad's case, he suffers really bad from osteoarthritis. So he has obviously pain in his spine. He has some issues with mobility. While curcumin, which is found in turmeric, is really good for helping with the pain from arthritis conditions, as well as helping to lessen the inflammation in the joints, which means your mobility does come back. So having one of these teas once a day or twice a day is going to be incredible if you suffer from inflammation or if you suffer from any type of pain and mobility issues. This is for you. So 4 tablespoons go in there. The next spice that I'm going to use, and it's all spices today, so it's wonderfully enticing and very, very vibrant in flavor as well. So the next spice I'm going to be adding in here is cinnamon. So cinnamon, you guys know well, it's got a bit of a sweetness to it. It also has antibacterial properties as well, which is fantastic. So a good tablespoon of our cinnamon goes in there. So you're probably making enough, you're going to make about half a bowl of powder of tea here. So you've got tea for maybe 20 cups with this mix that you've got. So cinnamon's going in there. I'm also going to be adding in some ginger, and everything, as I said, is in powdered form because we are making this instant tea. And once again, we're going to go for a tablespoon of ginger. Ground ginger goes in. Ginger, raw spices. It's also thermogenic, so it's going to help to keep your body warm, which is fantastic. Obviously in winter when it's a little bit cold, but ginger also just has the most wonderful flavor. So ginger's in there. The next spice that we're going to be adding, and this one may come as a little bit of a surprise to some of you, but the next spice we're going to be adding is actually black pepper. So, oh yes, we have a question. Yes, Mahi?
Where do you buy turmeric in bulk?
Oh, good question. Come up here. The question was, where do you buy turmeric in bulk? So, I don't suggest you buy your spices in bulk unless you use them very quickly. So you want to keep your spices as fresh as possible. So I would suggest if you are buying spices, you go to a store that specializes in spices, like you might go to an Indian store that actually specializes in them, and they will make sure if they've got a high turnover that the spices are fresh. You don't want to hold your spices in your pantry for any longer than 3 months. Like that is like the top end of the time where they will remain fresh and vibrant, and they will remain, full of goodness as well. If your spices are old, more than 3 months, you may want to put them to the side and then start with fresh spices. So when it comes to buying in bulk, depends what your idea of bulk is. If your idea is, you can see but I cook a lot. You guys know I cook a lot. So that there will probably last me about 2 to 3 months maximum. I've just filled up this container now. I bought my turmeric from Costco. You can buy it in a really big container at Costco. But when it comes to things like cardamom and other spices that are less popular or less well known, I then go to my Indian spice store. I've got one quite local to me. Just Google where your one is, and I can buy my spices in containers. Like literally, it's like a pick and mix. I can buy just enough to last me for that 3 months. And I know it's a busy store and they've got a really high turnover of spices, so it works really well. So there you go. Thank you for that. Okay, we're talking about black pepper. So black pepper, we're going to be putting it into our tea. You're like, you don't put pepper in tea? That's weird, right? No, it's not weird actually. There is a really good reason why I'm adding black pepper into my tea down here. And that reason is, come on down, that reason is, and this may, like I said, this may shock you guys a bit. And by the way, I'm adding a tablespoon. So I'm just gonna grind it, freshly ground or freshly milled black pepper. The reason I'm adding the black pepper in here is because curcumin, which is that active ingredient in turmeric, on its own is not very easily absorbed into our bloodstream. And when we're looking at this from all the health benefits that this tea can give us, we want our body to be able to absorb it. Well, black pepper helps with the absorption rate. So anytime you're adding turmeric to any type of food that you are doing, please, please, please always think to yourself, now I need to add the black pepper so my body can then absorb all the goodness from the turmeric. So if you see a recipe that doesn't have black pepper in it and it's got turmeric in it, just add a little bit of black pepper. And with this tea, I'm adding in a whole tablespoon. You want it to be quite finely ground. Otherwise, it's going to be spicy tea. Trust me, spicy tea. So that's in there. Tablespoon of black pepper. I know, weird, right? But it's all about those health benefits. And there are massive health benefits when you combine turmeric and black pepper. All right, so that is another spice, and another spice I'm going to put in here for flavour as well as for how good it is for our body is actually ground. I love the taste of cardamom. So does Mahei. It's actually his favourite ice cream is cardamom ice cream. So I'm putting in a tablespoon of ground cardamom is going in there as well. Give that a bit of a mix. And the last spice that we're going to consider today, the last spice is cloves. Now cloves are antimicrobial, so they do kill off, you know, any nasty little bits and pieces that might be floating around in your system. They help to fight this disease. Cloves, of course, have quite a nice taste, but it also can have a numbing effect, hence why I was taught as a kid, if I had a sore tooth, to actually bite on a whole clove. I'm not sure if anyone else did that. I thought that was pretty cool, and it kind of numbed your gum. So because cloves do have that numbing effect, we're only going to be adding in half a tablespoon of our ground cloves going there. So before I show you the next bit, I want to have a bit of a chat about, I obviously just used all straight ground spices, things that you can buy these all at the supermarket, of course. But if you really want to, you know, take it that one extra step and make sure you're getting lovely fresh ones, you might want to definitely go to an Indian spice store and have fun when you're in there, because it's just the flavors, the smells, it is just so amazingly pungent and wonderful. So that's with just straight spices. If you wanted to, you could also consider using whole spices. Like for example, I have of course whole cloves. I have here, these are cardamom pods. So that's what a cardamom pod, if you've made my yogi tea, you know exactly what it is, cardamom pods. And of course I've got whole peppercorns. But if you were to use whole spices, you are going to need to grind them up. And the easiest way to do that is if you have a little spice or coffee grinder. That's perfect. They're about that big, and that's going to give you a very fine powder, because you want a fine powder. Or alternatively, if you've got a mortar and pestle, which is the stone bowl with the big stone pestle, and you bang it together and you grind up your spices that way, because you want to get down to this fine powder, because if it's too coarse, it's not going to dissolve in your hot water. So that brings me on to the next stage. This is basically your turmeric chai spice blend done. You would now store that in an airtight container, and depending on how, like I like to have a couple of these a day, so I have 2 turmeric chais a day, and I use a teaspoon at a time. So this will probably last between me and Mahei. This wouldn't even last us a week. And once again, you don't want to store this too long. You want to just make enough that will last you maybe 2 weeks, 1 month maximum, and then make some fresh one again. So airtight container, just a little jar that can go next to the tea and the coffee or wherever it is in your house, and you're ready to make tea. Now making tea is easy. Let me put the jug on. It might get noisy. We have a really noisy jug. Like our kettle is so noisy. It's ridiculous. But I need my water to be hot, and you need to have freshly boiled water. So I'm just going to do this in a glass so you get to see obviously what it looks like when it's all said and done. And you definitely want to start off with, I don't have a teaspoon. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can estimate a teaspoon. So not a heaped teaspoon, yeah? Quite a level teaspoon, which is about that much. So there's 4 teaspoons in a tablespoon, in case you're wondering. So definitely start with the powder at the bottom of your cup, or at the bottom of your, well, not ideally a glass, but at the bottom of your mug. Freshly boiled water. I hope my glass doesn't smash. Alright, freshly boiled water, around about 200 mils, which is 7 fluid ounces, goes in there. And the reason why we put the water first is you ideally would like the powder to dissolve, into the water. It's not all going to dissolve, and what you will find, which is absolutely fine, you will get a bit of residue down the bottom of your glass once you've drunken your tea, but that's okay. You can either add a bit more hot water just to get rid of it, or you can not drink it at all, because it's pretty full on, as you can imagine. Think about what we got in here, all those wonderful spices, but it's full on. So I would definitely suggest at this point in time that you consider adding a bit of sweetness to it, because right now it's lovely and warm. My hands are so cold. Right now it is pretty spicy, so you want to add a bit of sweetness to it. up to you how or what type of sweetness you add. You could add inulin powder, a couple teaspoons of inulin powder in there, but I think one that would probably just work a little bit better would definitely be a bit of fiber syrup. So you could put a teaspoon of fiber syrup into your glass, would be absolutely wonderful. Obviously, now that you've added fiber syrup, you've increased the prebiotic qualities of it as well, so you've turned it into more of a dietary fiber. So suddenly, just adding that little teaspoon of fiber syrup, you have supercharged your turmeric chai, which is wonderful. But the other alternative, if you want to, dun 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 dun, look what I got. It's backwards, but it's erythritol, Bridget's Healthy Kitchen erythritol, 0 as sugar. Is it now available? Is it gone live, Mahi, on our, it's almost about to go live on our Shopify store, on our store. So you could also add that. Couple teaspoons of erythritol into here would mean you're not adding any calories, would mean you're also not, you're not spiking your blood glucose, you're not raising your insulin levels, and of course, 0 as sugar has 0 laxative effect as well. So you could add erythritol, you could add inulin, or you could add fiber syrup to give it a bit of sweetness. Up to you. I'm going to add erythritol today. I love having options, and I've got options. Couple teaspoons of erythritol goes in there, makes it lovely and sweet, which is just nice. Put that over there. And then we just give it a little bit of a stir again, just to dissolve. The erythritol dissolves really, really easily. And you also then want to think about putting in a non-dairy milk. You could drink it like that. I actually prefer it with a bit of non-dairy milk. This is my favorite brand of coconut milk. And this is also, it's called Cara. Yes, I know it's backwards, but that's my favorite brand. We've been talking about this quite a bit on our page. Which brand of coconut milk do I use? I love this one. I find that coconut milk is a really, really nice mix when it comes to turmeric chai. Like, I tried it with almond milk and I was a little bit not that exciting. I haven't tried it with hemp milk yet. I'd like to try it with hemp milk, but I actually find that the coconut milk really, really works well with all those gorgeous spices that you have in there. And now, of course, what you have is your own, gorgeous smelling, warm and exotic, but very familiar. Everything about this is familiar. You know, we're all familiar with these spices, but have you ever drunk them? Ha! Maybe not. So, it's so good. If you love yogi tea, this is the next stage on from our yogi tea. And you look, it really does celebrate all the wonderful things that Indian cuisine is. It's, you know, it's exotic, it's vibrant, it's exciting, it's healing, it's warming, it's all these incredible things. You know, the other thing about turmeric that I really love, and I forgot to mention, is yes, I talked about it being, you know, really good for anti-inflammatory purposes. It also lowers blood glucose. So, you know, for people who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, this right here is your best friend, because it's going to help to lower your blood glucose. It will detox the liver. Liver's here, liver's just under there. It will help you detox your liver, which is really nice if you're wanting to give that liver a little bit of a clean out. It also is really high in antioxidant properties. I'm talking about turmeric. Now I'm talking about the tea as well. Really high in antioxidant properties, which once again helps to fight disease, which is really important, because we all know that all diseases start in the gut. So when we're having something like this, not only does it make us feel good and it tastes wonderful and we feel like we're doing a really amazing, you know, thing for our health, but it actually is scientifically proven to be helping us in so many ways. So it will also, and this is the one I want to tell you guys about, it will also, don't tell anyone, make you smarter. Yes. Turmeric has been shown to help not just increase, to improve your memory, so it helps you to remember stuff, but turmeric also helps to reconnect you know, neural pathways in the brain that maybe over time have become damaged. Turmeric will help to reconnect those neural pathways. So for you know brain-related diseases like Alzheimer's, like dementia, like Parkinson's, including turmeric into your day, like a couple times a day you're getting a glass of this amazing tea, you're looking after your brain. And you know, one of the things that I've always been, you know, as a person who's, you know, slowly getting older, not quickly, I'm slowly getting older, you know, I do think about the health of my brain and wanting to remain, you know, vital throughout my my years. And so it doesn't matter what age you are now, you can either start now to repair, you know, things that just happen with age, but also to prevent as well. So turmeric is like, it's smart and you're smart to drink it as well. So hope you enjoyed that recipe. As I said, we will be doing a couple more shares this week here in Bridget's Healthy Kitchen to do with our celebration of all things Indian and all things Indian food. I hope you can join me again here in the kitchen. Enjoy this tea. It is really fabulous and it's such a wonderful, wonderful addition to our already gorgeous diet. So enjoy that and I will talk to you soon. I will see you online. Wherever you are, continue to be safe and be well. And yeah, we'll see you next time here in Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. Take care, guys.